Hi everyone, it's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, I hope you will hit that subscribe button because you'll find new DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration here every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We were in need of some more throw pillows for our couch. I wanted something really simple and basic to sort of go with the more fun pillows and the ones that had more print onto them. So these are sort of just some simple farmhouse style pillows that you can make on a budget. So I want to share that with you today. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let me show you what I'll be using to create these pillows. So I found these really nice sort of natural muslin style, almost like a drop cloth, but a little bit thicker pillow cover at Hobby Lobby. So these are normally only $4.99 each, but I actually got them when they were half off. So these were only $2.50 per pillow cover, and I feel like that is such a great deal and bargain. They have these zipper closures in the back. So I have 3 of those to show you 3 different ticking style patterns you can create to make some farmhouse style throw pillows. And to do that, I am going to be using what I have on hand. So I have this Waverly chalk paint in the color Elephant. You definitely can use fabric paint for this, and that would probably be a lot better. So you can wash them. You can still wash them with chalk paint. However, this does go on pretty thick, and it gets sort of like a rough type of feeling to it. So if you want something a little less textured, then go with the fabric paint. This does just fine too, and you can sand it down once it dries and kind of give it a little bit more softer of a feel. And then the only other things I'll be using for this are some painter's tape. This is it's almost an inch thick. I want to say it's like 9.7 something of an inch thick. And then I also have a foam paintbrush. But the first thing I need to do, because these are all folded up in their packaging and then they come out all wrinkled up and creased, I'm just going to use my iron here to get all of the wrinkles out. Alright, so I have all 3 of my pillows ironed, and now I want to put some of my craft paper in here. I get this from Dollar Tree. I want to put it in here to separate the front and the back layers because the paint is going to seep through to the other side, and we don't want that. So we're going to put a barrier in between the layers inside the pocket of the pillow. I may double this up just to make sure that none of the paint goes through this and into the back too. And now for this first one, I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm going to do a thicker stripe down the middle and then 2 thinner stripes on the outside. So I'm going to use my painter's tape to tape off the edges here so I can paint down the middle. I also have a tape measure here to kind of help keep things straight and even as I lay my tape down. Alright, so here's my first stripe. I basically measured over 7¼ inches from each side where the edge of the tape started, and then the actual stripe down the middle is about 1�3 inches wide. I did 1 coat of the chalk paint. I think I'm just going to do 1, let it dry, and then when it's dry I'll take the tape off and we'll start working on the next set of stripes. And here's the second set of the stripes. So what I did is I actually tried to find about the middle of that first stripe that I painted and ran a piece of tape on half of that and then on the other half of that. So basically the meeting line should go right down the middle of that first painted line that we did, and then I measured over, well, I eyeballed over about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, so a little more than 1/8 of an inch, and laid down another piece of tape and then painted in between those. I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off of this. Alright, so here it is after I took the tape off. This gap is just a little bit bigger, so that's kind of the problem when you're just eyeballing. So if you have a pencil or something and you can mark that center line, that would help a little bit. You could keep going with this and adding more smaller lines on the outside of it, but I'm going to keep this one super simple like this and call this one done. Alright, for the second one, I want to do something similar, but I just want to give the edges of this some stripes instead of the middle. So again, I'm going to use my painter's tape to create a pattern, and then I'll come back and show you what I end up with after it's all laid out. Alright, so first we have 2 little skinny lines, and I put those about 1 inch in from the sides. And here's the next set of stripes for this one. My edges of my pillow are not straight at all. Actually, this side even like bows in and comes back out, and the other side isn't very straight either. So it wasn't easy for me to just measure over from the edge to get an exact measurement. So a lot of this is going to be eyeballing, but you can kind of see my first stripe behind the painter's tape in there. So what I did is I just tried to lay my painter's tape on top of that line and center it, and then just made another stripe on the other side of that tape for the next layer. So I'm gonna let this dry and we'll peel that off. I'm gonna repeat this so that I have 3 of these small stripes next to each other. And I think I'm gonna leave this as is. I think this would be really, really cute if you added a design to the center here. So maybe, you know, something that says Home Sweet Farmhouse, or, you know, the silhouette of a farm animal, or something that would match your decor right there. Or even Gather or Blessed. So just, this is a very basic design that you could really still build off of and even do like the whole entire pillow with stripes. But I really like the simplicity of this. This is just kind of a little extra for our couch in the family room. And I'm gonna go ahead and move on to our last and final pillow design. And for the last pillow, I want this one to be a little bit more bold. So I'm gonna add 3 stripes, more bold, thicker stripes, 1 down the middle and 2 on the sides. So this first set of stripes, they are each about 1.25 inches wide, and then they are 4.5 inches apart, or in between each stripe there. So this is dry. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the tape and we'll work on the next smaller set of stripes. Alright, so before I have tape all over the place, I want to explain where I'm at right now. So I'm basically doing the same thing I did in the very first pillow. So I made a thick stripe and I ran my tape, my next 2 pieces of tape, down the center of that first painted line here, and I added the 2 smaller stripes to the side. So this part right here is the same as the very first pillow that we did. The only addition that I've done here is that I've sort of started the next set. So this is the next one that has the big painted stripe down the middle from the first step, the tape running down the middle, like our first pillow, the additional little stripe off to the side. So again, this is going to repeat over here like our first pillow. The only thing I did is run an extra piece of tape down the middle of those 2. So you're going to have the same pattern as the first pillow, the same pattern as the first pillow, and then this is just an extra stripe that I'm going to run in between them to kind of connect both of the patterns together. And then I also didn't want this whole side of the pillow to be blank, so I added 1 extra piece of tape on the very outside of the main design again. So over here, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that process for this side over here. I hope that kind of helps as I speed this up to understand the pattern that I'm working on. And now all 3 of my pillows are ready to be used. I actually use these pillows from Walmart to stuff my throw pillows with. They are only $2.47, I want to say. I took a picture, I'll insert that here for you to see, but they aren't the same size. These are 18 by 18 inch throw pillow size. These are 20 by 26. You just shove them in there and then they're nice and fluffy. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert all of my pillows into my pillow covers. I hope that this tutorial inspired you. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up for me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I have more great DIY tutorials in the link next to me. You can also follow me over on Facebook and on Instagram, and I will link those down in the description box below. Thanks so much again, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.